Greetings and a very warm welcome to the channel. The sun is hiding and the Magpie is casting. Coming to you guys right now with something a little bit different. This is going to be a Homeworld Deserts of Karak 1 vs 1 replay featuring myself playing Magpie842 versus Tren. Just thought I'd cast this because Tren and I played this about a week ago now, and I just figured I'd cast at least one game. Actually, no, this is probably the third or fourth game of myself playing Homeworld Deserts of Karak that I've cast. But anyway, I thought I'd just cast it so that, I don't know, you can see that I do actually play this game and I kind of know a little bit what I'm talking about sometimes. Or at least, I don't know, somewhat to prove my credentials that I'm not absolutely hopeless. Anyway, Tren very kindly offered to be a sort of practice partner for me now and again. So I do have him on Steam, and yeah, he very kindly let me choose the map. He was like, what map do you want to play on? So I was like, yeah, let's play on Kalash Teeth. And he was like, I hate this map. And I was like, awesome. And he also played as Saban, which I think is definitely his least strong race. So definitely giving me a chance. Anyway, spawning in the south, playing as the blue and white Kanefi forces, it is me, Magpie842. And spawning in the north, playing as the red and white Saban forces, it is Tren. Now, I think for this replay, what I might do actually is keep Fog of War turned on so that you can kind of see the game from my point of view. There we go. Just to make it a little bit more, just something a little bit different, I suppose. So anyway, my initial research, you can see I'm going for Sandskimmer fabrication, moving on out with the production cruiser. This is just a reconnaissance move, and my thinking was that I would be going for a pretty cautiously but early timed refinery tech and not trying to put on any obscene aggression. And, you know, yeah, so anyway, so yeah, I built two salvages straight away. Let's switch to the production tab here. There we go. And Sandskimmer Fab has finished just now. Now I was quite rusty because I haven't played this game for, I don't know, like a week or more. When I suddenly jumped into this game against Tren, so my control, I was a little bit jittery. You know what I mean? Sometimes when you haven't played an RTS for ages, it's like you know what you should be doing. Like, you know how to split marines, you know how to coordinate drops, you know how to, you know, do all these things, but your hands are just slightly out of practice, so they're just kind of, you're just fumbling a little bit. Anyway, here comes the first sight of the enemy. So this is just an LAV that I spotted, so I was fairly sure that I could bully this one, but then another one showed up, so I was like, oh dear. My Sandskimmer here is just gonna, seemingly is set to attack, and obviously I was planning to pull that back. There's the pullback when it was on about 2/3 health, but that's a little too late, and the range on the LAVs is just good enough that you can see they're still hitting it, and they're actually going to get that kill, which is absolutely dire. I threw away my first Sandskimmer for like a teeny bit of damage on an LAV, and then I threw my second Sandskimmer in to try and get that one. Tren very nicely pulls it back, and I am now 2 Sandskimmers down for no gains, which is dire, really. That, you know, if Tren keeps building LAVs, which is a very real concern for me right now, that would be really bad. Now I am up to 8 salvages, and I do have 2 salvages with like long distance mining these CUs. If we check the tech, you can see refinery mode is just now coming down. So this is actually very risky. But I guess I was thinking that if Tren comes through with a load of LAVs, I can just pull my salvages back to here and defend with the carrier until he's done. Anyway, here come 5 LAVs. I'm now on 4 Sandskimmers, so it's not an awful fight. But look, I mean, he's just using the high ground advantage and the range on his LAVs to utterly punish my Sandskimmers, just taking them apart. So I got 1 LAV, but it's now 4-1 in the Strikecraft stakes to Tren here. So this is going really badly for me. Here come the LAVs. They're going to start hounding my production cruiser. He's just going to come on over here. Now I decide refinery mode is like coming up for being finished, so I figure I can move the carrier to a slightly more defensive position here. And I'm just praying that like 2 AAVs are not going to come through here and start hosing my resources, because that would be terrible. That would be like nearly GG if a few AAVs came through right now. Anyway, still building Sandskimmers, still attempting to get myself something resembling an army. Up to 4 Sandskimmers now, and Tren just grabbing himself his first artifact. So I'm pretty much soundly behind right now. I have no idea what Tren is doing, no idea. I haven't scouted him at all, really. So anyway, here come 5 Sandskimmers. And I'm hoping that I might just be able to catch a base runner or something like that. I can hide my Sandskimmers down here. If you look closely, you see that they're actually like just hidden behind, like in a little dip behind these sand dunes. So I can hide them there whilst I regroup. There's the base runner that I was looking for. So sand skimmers are faster than AAVs, so I feel fairly comfortable coming in and just harassing this base runner. Meanwhile, setting up my second mining location right now. So anyway, here come the defense, but the defense is actually just 3 LAVs. Don't know where the rest of Tren's LAVs are, but I know that this is a fight I can take, and I'm much more on point with my micro now. You can see moving back the wounded sand skimmers, but a strike fighter comes on in and picks off that wounded one. So I'm like, okay, I'm kind of, you know, committed here. I've got to go in. The strike fighter is going to do what it does, regardless of whether my sand skimmers are fighting or not. So this is me coming in to try and like clean up a few LAVs whilst I've got the sand skimmer numbers advantage. And I managed to get like 2, 3, 4 LAVs and hemorrhage at least that many sand skimmers though, thanks to this bloody strike fighter. If we look at my tech, I actually went for railguns whilst this was going on, which now looks really silly, but the railguns finished just before, the railgun research finished just before that strike fighter showed up, so I basically had nothing to be, you know, these strike fighters right now are just like have free reign on the battlefield, so I was very worried. I've got a few sand skimmers out on the field though for just keeping tabs on everything, but this game is going horribly for me, absolutely horribly, and I'm desperately still building sand skimmers right now. Actually, having the production tab up is a little bit it does show you what Tren is building. Oh well, I'll just leave it up. But anyway, you can see that I'm going for a second production cruiser, so I'm going to try and get like another production cruiser up. This is both defensive and macro. I need it to build more sand skimmers and other units, and I also need it to gain access to this resource location here. How many sand skimmers am I up to now? 7. So yeah, and I know Tren has like a force here, and I can also see he's moving this artifact here. So there's a small chance, I was thinking, that he didn't actually guard this base runner, so I may be able to ward it off for a while, or even kill it by moving my sand skimmers this way. So that was my thinking here, and I seem to be heartened. I was heartened to see that this base runner was in fact not being escorted. So the sand skimmers here having a chance to get some damage in here. No upgrades on my sand skimmers, no upgrades on these LAVs, but yeah, the LAVs come in and that will, you know, that's going to save this base runner and push back my sand skimmers. But you know, this artifact isn't being scored, and now it has to come back again slowly again to try and get scored. So like, I'm at least delaying Tren a bit. My second production cruiser is out. You can see it moving out here. It's building missile ships. Oh yeah, that's right, I panicked and had to research missile ships, of course, to help defend me against these aircraft. So yeah, missile ships was the research, and I am building them now. 2 production cruisers is reasonable anti-air, so the strike fighter won't want to go near these 2 bad boys, but the missile ships, I'm thinking if I just position them like here, or maybe one here, that'll provide anti-air whilst also being quite hard for my opponent to attack because of this impassable terrain that's intervening. Anyway, sand skimmer numbers are actually coming up reasonably now, so I'm going up to fleet capacity 65, and then I'll probably be getting sand skimmer upgrades. Here come my sand skimmers here coming in, and look, that's an exposed base runner, so I made a calculated gamble here. I was like, even with a strike fighter hitting me and these LAVs, I'm pretty sure I can kill this base runner here if I just come in with the sand skimmers. So I'm like ignoring everything else, just focusing down this base runner here. Lose 1 sand skimmer, and now probably might lose another, and then I'm going to try and get out of there. Yeah, so 2 sand skimmers for a base runner with an artifact there is the trade. Not too bad. And the 2 missile ships are out now, and I kind of rallied them here, hoping that Tren might commit that strike fighter, and then the missile ships could try and down it. But Tren not going to do that. A little too smart. And now I was thinking of getting turbo, like, because I know I'm behind, so I have to take a risk. I have to make something happen. I can't just sit around. So by keeping the missile ships here, I can use the missile barrage on this point here. There we go. I used it a little prematurely though, so just got some damage onto an LAV. Unable to really convert that into anything that good, but I did pick up that LAV, so I'm beginning to look okay here. Now that I've got the 2 production cruisers, now sand skimmers are coming out quite rapidly. That's really good. I've also got the +1 weapons, I think. No, +1 armor has been done. And I've got a reasonable amount of sand skimmers. Also raiding has finished, so these sand skimmers are now quite fast with the anti-air. It's a very 2-dimensional army, what I have, but I'm trying to just do stuff with it because I don't really have a lot going on. Anyway, here come the sand skimmers rancing on out here. Tren's got an arm logistics module here, but again, I figure if I can just focus down this base runner, then that's like, you know, that cuts his advantage down significantly because he won't be able to be like scoring artifacts with this map control and the advantage that he has. So anyway, boom, there goes the base runner. And now I actually can just stay for a little while longer here. This isn't quite a few sand skimmers, and I'm getting damage level 1, so I've got 1 upgrades, and Tren has no upgrades. And I was clicking on his units, so I was cognizant of this fact. Like, I knew I had the upgrades. I knew my sand skimmers were outperforming his units. Now I realise that this is probably not a fight that I can take with these arm logistics modules here EMPing on my sand skimmers, so the time has come to leave. So let's check the tech here. I'm getting damage level 2 next, going deep into sand skimmer research here. Basically, I've just noticed that like my one strength in this game is that I have a very fast mobile force of sand skimmers, and my upgrades, like Tren is just not following me in upgrades, so I was like, okay, I have a window here, I'm just going to throw everything into a backstab. And, okay, not quite everything. A few of my sand skimmers are going to stay behind to provide eyes for me to let me know if anything bad happens. And my thinking was if he comes in with the LOVs, I can use the missile barrages on the missile ships to maybe do some damage. Anyway, Tren gets wind of this, and so the strike fighter comes in, but I know a strike fighter isn't enough here to deflect this. So here come the sand skimmers. They've got 1 weapons and 1 armor right now. Damage level 2 is going to finish in 10 seconds, though. And I was lucky to find this exposed support cruiser. Now, my thinking was, Tren's gone for strike fighters. He can't have AAVs as well, or at least if he does, not enough to deflect this. And his LAVs won't be enough to actually, because I know I've got the upgrade advantage, they won't be enough to actually defeat my sand skimmers, even if they are here and I'm attacking the support cruiser. So I knew when I committed to this backstab, if I found a support cruiser, I could destroy it. Like, that was, in my mind, that was pretty much a fact. So that was the logic behind like throwing those sand skimmers down there. And I was lucky, I got rewarded with a support cruiser kill, so that's really nice. And right now, with that support cruiser going down, I'm thinking, right, I don't even think I'm behind in this game now. I may even be ahead, because my upgrades are better, and like, you know, everything seems to be going really well. My only worry is like, what's Tren's tech here, you know, like, because he can't have nothing. Anyway, here's an ill-advised push out with some sand skimmers. Gonna hemorrhage a few units here, actually quite a few. The EMP turrets and the massive numbers of LAVs. Look, Tren using the turbo boost to run me down here. So that was an extension too far. I lost like at least half my sand skimmers there, which was really bad. Just kind of poking in over here, trying to get these arm logistics modules. With another little wing of sand skimmers there. Let's check the tech here. So I'm going for Honor Guard Cruiser Fab, is going to be the next thing that I'm doing. So yeah, mining off of 3 locations is not so bad. When I have another 600 CUs, I'll probably want to get another production cruiser. Also, you can see my fleet cap has just recently been researched, so taking care of the macro quite nicely. Now that is an intimidating number of LAVs, so I'm going to bring across these missile ships. I would have thought, am I going to do it? Yeah, so the missile ships are going to come across, because my sand skimmers won't beat those LAVs in a fight, I don't think. Although I do have 2-2 upgrades, and I believe Tren still is on 0-0, so maybe I was feeling pretty confident. Either way, I'm going to bring the missile ships across because I probably want their AoE damage. Let's just check the upgrades here for Tren. Okay, so he actually has 1 attack upgrade, but I mean, I've got 2 attack upgrades, 2 armor upgrades, so I'm feeling pretty good about this fight. Even still though, just hemorrhaging some more sand skimmers. So my map control and my army right now, very precarious. Let's check the tech. Yeah, so Honor Guard Cruiser research has finished, which is awkward. I should have waited until I'd made another production cruiser before I went for that. Anyway, and here I'm just basically just keeping Tren busy, and I'm kind of hoping that he's just going to leave those units there and I can get the drop on him with the missile ships, but he totally sees that, so I cancel the barrage orders, which I did actually lock in. And anyway, still sand skimmers are being made by me, tons of sand skimmers. I'm actually floating quite a lot of cash right now as well, too much cash. I really need to build some Honor Guard cruisers or something with that money. So another missile ship coming down on the production tab here. Hang on a second, it's glitched out. Yeah, production tabs and sand skimmers. Sorry, missile ships and sand skimmers on the production tab for me right now. Here are the missile ships. They're a little exposed, but that was kind of like a double bluff. I was like, oh no, you might get my missile ships. But Tren just saw that coming a mile off, so I just didn't even bother firing the whole of the barrage. I just let these missile ships come away. And now the missile ships genuinely are exposed, and Tren here with quite a nice position to get some work done. But look at the upgrade advantage, you know. For Tren, it's 1-1, if I can actually click on one. No, for Tren, it's just 1 attack, and I have 2-2, so I'm like, you know what, I can probably take this fight. So I just move in with my sand skimmers here. Apparently only half of them. And then, okay, yeah, so the arm logistics modules I decided too much, so I'm going to come back out of there. The missile ships here are just actually hemorrhaging, taking quite a lot of fire. That was a mistake from me. They were just sat idle when they should have been retreating back to safety, so I'm going to lose a missile ship there. That is a shame, but I have already kind of replaced it. And I also, oh yeah, that's right, I snuck out a base runner, which was able to grab an artifact whilst I was doing all this. Oh, that's right, so this whole operation here was kind of to cover that base runner. Whoops, I totally forgot about that. Like I say, this game was about a week ago, so... Anyway, up to 3 missile ships and a ton of sand skimmers now. And looks like I'm going to go for another little attempted backstab. With the sand skimmers here just going to dart on over to the left. Okay, Honor Guard Cruiser is now on the production tab. For me, and a ton of sand skimmers just flooding out. I do love sand skimmers. They are like probably my favorite unit. And you can see I've got like a reasonable wall of sand skimmers here, just providing some map vision whilst this huge backstab. I mean, that is an intimidating backstab coming in here. Those are all 2-2 sand skimmers, of course. So I'm just looking hopefully for another support cruiser, but okay, it looks like I'm going to see 2 salvages here. And we zoom out to see if Tren's doing anything else. No. So anyway, here comes the backstab here. 2-2 sand skimmers make short work of salvages. The armor of salvages, it just does not extend to 2-2 weaponry. So this support cruiser here going to dive back, and at this point I realize that if I split my forces like this, that gives me a much wider angle of attack here. So my thinking there was, I don't know, maybe if Tren like scrambles some units back here to defend, then these sand skimmers could come in behind them and sandwich them or something. But anyway, Tren's strike fighter here still getting absolute value as well because I split my forces. His ball of LAVs here, which now have Still just one attack upgrade. Anyway, gonna get the jump on some exposed sand skimmers there. So I did lose a lot of sand skimmers for those 2 salvages that I picked off. That was probably almost not even worth it. But then I see there's a weakness here because I saw all his LAVs were over there on the left flank. So now I know I've got a window to clear out these armed logistics modules in mid. Also my base runner here. Oh, a blast drone. I made a blast drone, so that's coming in. Also my honor guard cruiser just got a massive hit on these LAVs. Look how low they all are. That's because the honor guard cruiser was positioned here to snipe into mid. And now I know with 2 sand skimmers I can definitely clean up all of these LAVs. So I just shift queue up all of these units. That you can see I'm killing them one by one, one by one, one by one. I just like shift and then right clicked on all of his units. So that was just a whole pack of dead sand skimmers there. And then I see the battle cruiser here. So this is a Saban battle cruiser, the one with railguns. Which, oh whoa, loads of strike fighters, which anyway, I feel Tren is being slightly charitable using the Saban battlecruiser here because it's not a very good unit. He said himself he's still trying to figure out how on earth you're supposed to use it like effectively because it just doesn't seem very good. So yeah, here it comes. Looks like he's trying to use it to pick off my missile ships, which is, you know, a pretty good target for them. He loses a lot of his strike fighters there though. The missile ships were able to hose them down. This honor guard cruiser over here, still taking the odd shot look, my positioning is just a bit off here, otherwise it could have been taking shots into this battle cruiser, so that was a bit dumb of me. My 3rd production cruiser is now ready, so my carrier is ready to be weaponized, and I'm now researching power reserve level 2 to enable that to power on up. This battle cruiser here is just, I'm not really sure what it's up to, so my sand skimmers are harassing it, but its armor's pretty good, so it doesn't take that much damage. This honor guard cruiser, crucially, I really thought that it could be firing, but it really wasn't, so, oh wow, and then his carrier gets revealed in this location. Okay, that's problems. So my honor guard cruiser here doing what it can. My carrier itself is moving out to come into the fight, but this, I think this was a mistake in hindsight. I think my carrier would have been better positioning here and firing cruise missiles over here, maybe. Anyway, massive backstab going to go through because I knew that his carrier was out on the field, so I thought that there might be a window here where I can come in and like take out this resource location with my my upgraded sand skimmers, which like if we can click on a base runner here. Okay, so Tren has 2 attack but no armor, so I'm still ahead by 2 upgrades. This honor guard cruiser is apparently being answered by like armed logistics modules, which are really annoying, so I'm just kind of backpedaling with that one. Didn't really think I was going to lose it, but I knew I couldn't keep it there either. The sand skimmers are actually just turning this fight, so gonna prioritize down the support cruiser and then mop up any salvages that I can, is the plan there. Carrier is going to be moving on into the fight. It'll be rounding this corner here momentarily. This battle cruiser here pushing my missile ships back whilst I'm kind of backstabbing up in the north. Brutal losses were done to Tren here, which made me kind of think that he was pretty much hell-bent on this one attack. But I didn't really translate that into responding with my units and coming up with a better plan, because if your opponent is all in on this attack, right, the one thing you need to do is protect your carrier, because he is coming all in with 2 battle cruisers and his carrier, and my carrier is still coming into this, which is terrible. I need to be running away from this, because the one way I can lose this game is if my carrier gets taken out now. I feel like that because I've killed so much of Tren's economy. Look, I'm going to get this support cruiser. Like, Tren's in ruins. If he can win with this force here in middle, that is his one and only shot at winning this, and it's quite a good shot because two railgun battle cruisers and a Saban carrier, which outruns my carrier and also has railguns, is dangerous. And now look, you can see the damage already coming on. Another honor guard cruiser finishes up here, whilst my other honor guard cruiser here on the left is going to come in to kind of catch them in an honor guard pincer. But this is very, very dangerous. So I've up to 3 honor guards now, but now my carrier is brutally exposed. And also, I kept putting power into weapons because I just misclicked, and I thought that this weapons column was cruise missiles, but it wasn't, so that was really dumb. My carrier was not even able to be firing its cruise missiles this whole time. And now look, I'm desperately scurrying away, carrier damage at 72%, hosing out some cruise missiles at last, getting some okay hits on the various units. I needed to just focus fire though. The missile ship's going to donate what fire they can into this battle cruiser here, and all of my sand skimmers are still back over the other side of the map, like ransacking things and just trying to keep Tren's economy from ever recovering. Now, these 2 battle cruisers are still alive, and Tren's carrier, which is way faster than mine, is just chasing in deep here. My carrier's down on 30%, 28%, and you can see I'm desperately putting power into self-repairs. Right now I'm just stacking all power into self-repairs because I know I just need more HP to absorb this beating. Carrier down to 16%, still a battle cruiser and a Saban railgun carrier nailing into my carrier here. The honor guard cruiser's back here just taking shots. That battle cruiser won't last long. My carrier now on 8%. As Tren coming in turbo deep here. This is basically Tren's last hope. He has to try and take this here. And so what have I got? I've got 2 heavy railguns actually as well, which were helping out during there. That's pretty nice. One with really good veterancy. Now my carrier is back up to 11, so I'm slowly being able to patch together some repairs. Going up to power reserve level 4 here. And Tren's carrier also beginning to feel the heat. I think he realizes that the DPS now on his Saban carrier, like, he doesn't have nearly as much power reserves as I do, and the DPS on the Saban carrier is just not enough to deal with mine when it's repairing. And I'm back up to 20% here now, beginning to heal up. And the honor guard cruisers, the heavy railguns, and indeed even the missile ships doing a little bit here against this carrier. So good damage being inflicted against Tren's carrier. On the other side of the map, my sand skimmers did actually prevail. Only a few of them left, but 5 left now. But great veterancy on them, and they are just hosing away at Tren's remaining units. And this obviously is a fight which I can totally take. 3 honor guard cruisers, heavy railguns, everything present and correct, barrage coming down off the missile ships, and that's going to finish the job. So yeah, I was able to take a reasonable win against Tren, which I was really, really pleased with. But having said that, you know, I got map choice, and I picked the one map that Tren says he always auto-vetoes. Like, he hates that map. And he played essentially off-race. I mean, not fully off-race, but he played, like, his inferior race, I think it's fair to say. And he went for a weird tech choice. He went for railgun battlecruisers. So, I did take a game off of Tren, but I think it's fair to say he wasn't trying to his full ability there. But anyway, I just thought I'd cast this one because it's just, you know, nice to show that I do have some idea of what I'm doing in this game, and I am able to play, like, not at a super high level, but I can play Homeworld, Deserts of Karak, and I kind of know what I'm doing, even if my control and implementation is not always flawless. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that battle. I hope it was vaguely interesting seeing it from, like, with Fog of War turned on from my point of view and hearing my decisions as I navigated my way through the game. I hope that was interesting. Yeah, I guess that that concludes this broadcast. Remember, of course, this Sunday, which I believe is the 7th of August, we've got a best of 7 between A-Gamer Ranks and Sparrow, the 2 best players in Homeworld Deserts of Karak, I think. Yep, I'll be casting that live starting at 12 GMT on Sunday the 7th of August. Twitch.tv/Magpie842. Come and chill out, have some fun times with RTS if you're around. Yeah, I guess that's everything. So thanks very much for watching. This is Magpie842 signing out for now.